salute. 2. Uncover. Chaplain, would you please enter your location?
Almighty Son and Ruler of the universe, who art the Lord of hosts and God of peace, about thee our efforts are in vain. Continue thy blessing upon us as we pray thee, and guide us during our deliberations. We beseech thee, O God, to bless the defense of our departed comrades, to comfort all who give their loved ones to our nation's cause. Bless and strengthen the sick, the needy, and the afflicted. Bless, we ask thee, the widows and orphans, and help us fulfill our duties towards them. Continue thy favor upon us, and help us practice the spirit of true covenantship, both in our councils and within the world at large. Enable us to better the community in which we live through our devotion to duty as citizens. At this time, we bow our heads in reverent silence and pray for the departed comrades. These and all other necessities, blessings, we ask of thee, Almighty Ruler of the universe. Amen.
Amen. First Vice Commander, in the pledge of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Recover. We'd like to recite the preamble Constitution of the Sons of the American Legion. Proud possessors of Christ's heritage, we now descendants of veterans of all brave wars, associate ourselves together as Sons of the American Legion for the following purposes: to uphold the content and Constitution of the United States of America, to maintain law and order, to foster and perpetuate the true spirit of Americanism, to preserve the memories of our former members and the association of our members and our forefathers in the great wars, to inculcate a sense of individual obligation to the community, state, and nation, to combat the autocracy of the low classes and the masses, to make right when master of might, to promote peace and goodwill on earth, to safeguard and transmit to posterity the principles of justice, freedom, and democracy, to consecrate and sanctify our friendship by our devotion to mutual helpfulness, and to adopt and let their spirit all of the great principles for which the American humanity stands, and to assist in carrying on our God and country. I now call on the regular 14th District British Conference to order.
Mr. Commander, being we have a lot of speakers here today, and that I move that we go on, we dispense with the regular part of the business, just go to have let some of our guests speak today.
Motion for
John Life, sworn in 566, seconds that motion.
any discussion on the motion? All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Against the motion? Motion carries.
My name is Dave Hawkins, and on behalf of the Post 566, I'd like to welcome all of you from Sons of American Legion, your commander, his staff. We'd like to make it your home today. Enjoy yourselves. Have a great meeting. Glad to have you.
Gentlemen, I'd like to welcome everybody that's here today. I'd like to welcome Commander Conway. Sir, would you like to say anything right now, or would you like to get it?
No, I'm just here to visit.
Just to visit.
I just come, I was in the neighborhood.
Okay. Would you like to introduce your staff, sir?
Yes,
We have our first vice commander, Jeff Rabel Jr. Our second vice commander, Vidlac. Our child well-being chairman. Yeah, Chris. My mind went blank. Mike Kennedy. These are, whatever. Well, yeah, what's your committee?
Veterans
Finance.
Affairs.
Yeah, veterans, I always forget that.
Finance, but he's also the Northern Committee for DCF.
Yes.
Yeah.
Northern-
Yeah, all of the above.
Yeah. That everybody?
Scott,
Oh,
the main man.
I was gonna let him.
Hey, let me switch captains to recognize me.
Jeff, Adjutant, Scott Thornton.
Yeah, Bill back there.
Oh,
There's another page.
yeah.
Oh, we all know Bill. He's not recognizing gold.
My historian, Bill Towns, he's always sitting somewhere where I can't see him. Sorry, once again,
And I'd like to welcome Bill back to the 14th District, his original home.
Okay, and then we have our auxiliary president back here. Kathy Burkham, would you like to say anything, Kathy?
A little later. Okay. Didn't know there was gonna be so many dignitaries here today. I thank you for the invite to your winter conference. I want to remind everybody of the God and Country ceremony this Saturday. Jim Forsythe and I have been working hard. If you still want to go, let me know today. And we still have some seats left for dinner. But it's a beautiful program, and I'm proud to announce that every post in our district turned in names of their deceased Legionnaires. So it's going to be a very warm, sincere ceremony. The video that he plays of the Dorchester and the 4 chaplains, bring Kleenex. That's all I can say is you gotta have Kleenex. And I wanna congratulate you on your membership. You're doing great. You're doing better than the Legion and the Auxiliary. You're in what? Seventh place. Seventh place? We moved up to 12th. We won't talk about John. We just, so, thank you for having me and have a great day.
Thank you, Matt. Okay. I do believe that's all of our guests.
You must have stayed.
Anybody like to speak? Any of the officers would like to say anything? You're more than welcome to, sir.
Okay, I'm a man of many words, so I'll say something. Guys, my name is Todd Vidlac. I'm the second vice commander for the detachment of Ohio. We were in the Cleveland area, 13th district, and Jeff Rabel Jr. decided it would be a good idea for us to last minute throw a trip together to come down here. We were kind of we really wanted to surprise Bob and Fred, and we were really trying to get Scott, but we didn't. The facial expression I was expecting, I didn't get. So anyway,
The problem is, I keep track of your guys' schedule. I know where you're going. I don't know that Fred invited me to come out today.
well, we had an idea because of the Facebook stuff. But anyway, as second vice detachment of Ohio, I'm responsible for fundraising. And my fundraiser this year is a raffle ticket for first prize is a Milwaukee toolkit. It'd be a cordless Milwaukee toolkit worth about $1,500, or a charcoal grill, a pellet grill, a flat top grill, a propane grill, worth about $1,500. It's your choice. First prize. Second prize is a freezer meat package worth about $500. It will contain beef, pork, and chicken. And third prize is $250. These tickets are on sale through convention. We will draw for the winner of this during convention. The proceeds go to Commander Tim's project, which is Operation Comfort Warrior. And Chris and I will come to your home squadron and deliver it to you if you win. So you don't have to drive to Northwest Ohio, where I'm from, to pick it up if you want to buy a ticket and potentially win. I also have 50-50 tickets for Steve Huntingford is from the 1st District. He is in line to be our National Vice Commander Central Region, and for that position, National is requiring or suggesting that you have $5,000 or $6,000 of expendable money to be able to pay for hotel rooms and flights and travel, those sorts of things. They reimburse some, but they don't reimburse all. So he's running the fundraiser for his expenses and his travels as National Vice Commander Central Region. It's a 50-50 ticket. Tickets are $5 each, or 3 for $10, 7 for $20. So if you want to throw 20 bucks at it, you get 7 tickets. And this will be drawn when the last ticket is sold. I'm not sure when that is. I'm guessing hopefully it'll be around convention, but I'm not real sure. Other than that, I have another 15-minute speech I could give, but I'll save that for a later time today. So thanks very much for putting up with me for a few minutes, and I'm looking forward to hearing what Scott has to say. Thank you.
And for those of y'all who don't know, Steve is in line to be elected vice commander at the national convention in Tampa this summer.
Get that train out. 14th district sitting at 73.87%. You guys are doing great work. If anybody is here from 272 or 449, I'd like to see you after the meeting. 272 is at 6%. 449 is at 22%. So we can work on those. Maybe they need some help. Maybe they need some guidance. That's what we're here for. Thank you, Mayor.
272, he didn't get off work, he was supposed to get off at noon, and he couldn't get off. And we had a person from 449.
Jake's right back there in the back of the room.
Oh, there he is. He's
How long do you know what's
standing.
going on after this?
Sounds good.
He
Thank
was
you.
protecting you.
That's trying.
I don't care. I'll throw myself under the bus.
No.
Technically, they got to talk to Jake, not you, because you're not a member of the squad at 449.
But I am the SAL liaison.
Yeah, but they got to talk to the SAL member.
And I ain't no membership.
Yeah, you should be. That should be your first right.
Sure.
Okay. Right. Could I talk to, or have Mr. Kennedy come up and talk to us? Easy.
Good afternoon, table officers, commander, Sons of American Legion, and the guests we have in the room. My pleasure and honor to come here before you today to ask for your endorsement, vote, however you want to call it, at the upcoming convention in May to be the next detachment chaplain. I earned my eligibility through my grandfather who served in World War II. I've also am a retired Army veteran after 20 years. I was I've been through all the district years on the Legion side. I was district commander. I did a 2-year stint with the Department of Ohio and learned a lot of little secrets there that I can help pass on to Scott and some others. Scott probably knows them already, but
I thought you were still on NDAs for a lot of that, though, right?
Huh?
I thought you were still on NDAs for some of that stuff.
Yeah, I wish. But I've been around quite a while. I've got 26 years total coming up here. So I bring to you a lot of knowledge, a lot of experience, but I'm also going to learn from some of these younger gentlemen. Like Mr. Lights back there, he's come a long way. I see you going back with his hair going along, but that's all right. See, you need to trim it up.
Here's your out too.
All right. So one of my goals is I am be fortunate enough to be elected chaplain, would be to work on the communication side of things. We see now you have all the officers here today. That's great. They're building a line of communication. They're showing their faces, so you know who all of them are at once. As chaplain, I need to further that. I want to get names, phone numbers, and emails of all the detachments around the district, as many squadrons I can get, and build a base there. Email them once or twice a month. That way they know who I am when they want to contact me for a funeral or whatever they need. And then if I'm lucky enough to progress from there, then we can start working on getting more contacts in there from the districts. First vice, second vice, commander. You know, so we can all communicate. If we don't communicate, nobody knows what everybody else is doing. And they think these guys are just out here wandering around spending gas money. Well, they're not. They're actually putting a lot of time and effort into things. We started a journey about 7 o'clock yesterday morning. Some of them at 4 o'clock. And we'll be back to our own home, right, hopefully by 5 or 6. So, you know, that takes a lot of dedication. And I bring that dedication to you. I've been doing that. I've been dedicating my entire, since I got out of the Army, and even while I was still in it. Membership, I think we got great membership. I think we're going to exceed again this year. The only thing, and I've heard 2 districts in a row do this now, is to point out, don't embarrass, but to point out the ones that aren't quite there, the squadrons who need help. Not to make them feel bad, not to make them downgrade them, but say, hey, what do you guys need? What can we help you do to get you back on board, to get you back on track? Or, God forbid, do we have to shut you down? You know, are you in the hole that bad, you don't have members to kick you off? And on the Legion side, I've done this. I was the liaison for the department to SAL for quite a while. And part of my internal job at the department was internal affairs, so I had, unfortunately, had to go out a lot of posts that said, hey, you know, you're just not getting it. So, in closing, I just I appreciate your vote, and I'm here to dedicate myself to work with these future gentlemen, 2 here are going to be moving on up, and Adam is not here, unfortunately, with us today. So, with that, Commander, I thank you for coming aboard. Oh, I forgot one thing. I am a Legion writer too. For quite a few years there.
Everyone hold that against
Yeah. Okay. We can do my best.
I'll talk to you later.
Okay. I just have right.
Okay, Bill, would you like to say anything?
Better.
Sure. Thank you, Commander. First of all, some of you know me, some of you don't. I spent 36 years here in the 14th District, over at 209 and 281. After 209 had some issues. Spent a lot of Saturday nights over here with karaoke and so forth. Enjoyed this post in the hospitality here. What I want to talk to you about is, in just a couple of years, we're going to be coming up on the 100th anniversary of the Sons of the American Legion. It's coming up quick. We're right now looking, I want you to look back to your fathers, your grandfathers, your grandparents, your mothers. Look around your post. We're looking for articles, pictures, memorabilia, plaques and stuff that were won years and years ago, original charters, pictures and stuff that we can do. On the national level, we are looking to honor the longest member of eligibility. We're looking to honor the longest charter that's still active. And so these things that we're working on. Absolutely essential that we get this information to make this program great. A lot of you worked with me on the 50th anniversary when we put that, the 50th anniversary of the conventions. We put that together just a few years ago, and we had a great turnout and a really nice banquet at the national organization for that. We want to try to just really enhance that and build on what we've done, what we started with here. We need this information to make it happen. Look around your house. I've got a card that says, if you've got memorabilia that no one wants, contact me, we'll get it. We've got a museum over in Indianapolis that a majority of our members don't even know where they are. We were very fortunate about 5 years ago to finally get a lot of this stuff put online. So if you want to look back at what happened at the national organization over the years, you can now do it at your desk. You don't have to drive to Indianapolis and spend a week there to go through the museum. You can now do it online. I encourage you to do that. Look back at some of your stuff, and for whatever reason, put together a scrapbook of your activities. Your district, your squadron, submit it in for state and national awards, but more importantly than the awards is 15, 20 years down the road, that's gonna be there for your sons to look at. Thanks.
There you go. Scott, do you want to say anything before you get into your teaching mode?
Whatever you'd like me to do, sir.
You that, you get our, great. Go ahead and do that, and
I'll do it all.
we'll finish our meeting after all of your teaching and all of our speaking.
Well, real quick, just to let you guys know, you are being recorded. The gentleman back there with the camera is recording us right now.
It'll go up on YouTube in the next couple days.
Gonna have to share a couple of these because there are more bodies in the room than I was expecting to be here today. If anybody wants something that I didn't have a chance to give information to, you can get hold of me through the state website or for that information to get to me. What I just passed out, the top sheet is the detached membership report for the 14th district as of Thursday night. So Jeff already talked about that for everybody, so I won't spend time on that. The big thing that Fred and Bob invited me to come out for today was to talk to you guys about the responsibilities of your squadrons in terms of what paperwork to be filed every year with the attachment of national organizations. Big thing is the squadron data report. That's the first page after the membership agreement. This is the one that National uses to update the membership database to know how much each of your squadron members are supposed to be charged for their membership dues each year. It also includes all of your main contact information. What's the squadron's physical home address if you have a building of your own or if you meet? What's the mailing address that you guys want to get? Specifically, that's either where you physically meet or the address of your squadron adjutant for all communications that should be given to the attention of the squadron. And there's a separate category if you actually have a separate address that you want your membership dues notification cards to have. So if you, your squadron, prefer to have your members send your dues directly to whoever your membership chairman is at his home as opposed to the squadron or the post, there's an opportunity for you to specify that separately. They do ask that you update this every year because not everybody's due stays the same every year. A lot of us do. I would imagine the majority of us probably are in that case, but for the ones that change each year, we do need to make sure that information gets updated and that National knows what date that change should take effect. For those of you who don't know, the National Membership Database rolls over on July 1st. So at the moment, they're taking and normally processing dues for the 24-25 membership year. Once they hit July 1st, or about, depends on when the holiday falls, so that week or whatever, they'll roll it over and then automatically start taking dues payments for 25-26. So that can pay for missing years for guys if you want to fill in holes, but that's when the normal database structure sets up. So when that change happens, whatever the date is that your form says should be in effect that date, that's what they're going to start charging. So if you guys go out to My Legion and they want to pay their dues themselves online, they can do that. We're encouraging you guys to do that. Because the big thing there is, if you, as a member, go to My Legion, you have an account, you give your credit card, they know what squadron you belong to, they know you're supposed to be charged $20 for the year or whatever. 5 of it goes to Ohio, 5 of it goes to National, the other 10 of it goes to your squadron, or whatever. If you pay directly to My Legion online with a credit card, as soon as that transaction gets processed by the credit card company, you're paid. National gets their money right away, it goes into the National Treasury. Now, it it takes a little bit of time, could be a few weeks to a couple of months for that money to trickle back down to Ohio and to get to your squadron for your cuts of it. But because Indianapolis deposits the money right away, that means you're paid. If you're paying your dues directly to your squadron, now it's up to your squadron to make sure they get the money sent to state headquarters. And then the state headquarters has to take that money and send the cut up to Indianapolis. Again, until Indianapolis deposits that money, you're actually not paid, even though you've handed your guy his card for the next year. Y'all remember a few years ago when Hurricane Sandy went up the East Coast, there were a lot of guys that were members of the SAL in New Jersey and New York that tried to apply for grants from the National Emergency Fund. That pays up to $1,500 for immediate financial assistance if you've lost power and got water damage in the home or whatever. Or your kids need school, closed to school, whatever the case may be. Part of the stipulation of qualifying for one of those NEF grants is you have to be a currently paid member of the organization at the time you file that claim. There were one of those guys in that case of Sandy that they paid their squadron. The squadron gave them their new card. They said, I'm paid, I qualified. Guess what? Those applications went up the chain through the state or to Indianapolis to get that grant payment. And the treasurer of Indianapolis said, we don't show you as being currently paid. And they denied those requests. So if you're paying directly online as a member, as soon as that transaction goes through, you're paid. If you're paying through your squadron, now it's got to trickle its way up. So that's something to keep in mind. So the dates here that matters what your amount is when it takes effect as awarded. Obviously, then you get information about phone numbers, fax numbers, email addresses for your squadron. If you have a website, Facebook information, whatever all that information is, we put that in. And big thing is, when do you have your regular meetings? Is it every month, every other month, whatever? What day of the week, what week of the month, what time, where you at, all that kind of stuff. So please put that, get that all information in there. We ask that you get that information to state headquarters by April 15th. The state of Ohio, Detachment of Ohio requests that all of your paperwork for the new year be filed by May 1st. So there's a couple of week gaps that you can kind of fight a little bit. But the big thing is we try to get it to the state headquarters in time to get it all sent off to, put it in the system correctly and get it filed so that when we do get that date on July 1st, all your stuff's in there. As many of us know, probably you guys do, we do have squadrons around the state that are behind on their paperwork. I think you guys are pretty good compared to most. You've got maybe one squadron or two squadrons that are missing one or two pieces. But again, please, we ask that you try to get it all done as soon as possible. If you have your normal meeting date for your year to elect your new officers or whatever, it doesn't happen before May 1st to have everything done. That's okay. You know, some guys schedule it, that doesn't line up the way you have your meetings, okay? Get it as soon as you can, or if you think you're gonna not have any changes in your guys from this year to next year, go ahead and fill it out now. Put the date down as being effective, whatever the next date's gonna be. If you got a change that happens in 6 months because a guy resigns or you have to replace somebody, okay, update the form, I don't care. But please, try to get it all in as soon as you can. Any questions on that? Okay. The next one is certification of your officers. We ask that you tell us, besides all your quantity of information, what your dues and amounts are, who are the 4 key contacts for your squad. So your commander, your first vice commander, usually your membership chairman, your adjutant, and who is your post's liaison. That's a member of the post. It could be a male or female veteran. That person is the post commander's representative to interface with the squadron to make sure that you guys are doing what you ought to be doing when you ought to be doing it. And if there's anything that you guys have questions about with the post membership, that legionnaire then becomes the connection back to your post membership so that you guys have a voice on the floor for their meetings to have your issues brought up to them when you have questions. And just as a corollary to that, please everybody keep in mind, the Sons of the American Legion is a program of the post. At the district level, it's a program of the district, at the state level, whatever. The squadron doesn't exist without the support of the post. If you're gonna try to do something that the post doesn't like, you pretty much are screwed. I'll tell you that straight out. Because everything that Sons have to do at the squadron level has to be endorsed by the Legion membership of the post. If they don't want you to do it, don't try to go around it. In all cases, the squadron loses, the post wins. And if it's a big enough discrepancy, the squadron will cease to exist because the post will withdraw their support for your charter. It happens. We don't like it when it does. We really don't like it when squadrons think that they're too big for the britches and they don't have to do what the post tells them. And some of the guys in the room have been around long enough, they'll tell you, you get slapped down real fast with that attitude. So please, all of your actions consider that you need to have it endorsed by the post, you have to have it supported by the post. As a corollary to that, since I happen to work with Mike on the finance committee, one of the issues that we're seeing more and more is squadrons who think that their bank accounts can be independent of the post. This cannot be the case, ever. A squadron doesn't exist without the post. A squadron cannot have an independent financial asset that is not tied to the post's taxpayer identification number. If your squadron has a checking account, savings account that was not created by your post and is tied to your post's ID number, hope the IRS doesn't come looking for you, because you can't exist that way. If you've got an account that's like that my squadron was guilty of it up until a few years ago, please work with your post finance officer, get your accounts moved to be subordinate accounts to the post. A couple of things for that. One, like I said, the squadron can't exist financially as a separate organization. The other part of it is a squadron's financial assets are assets that belong to the post. You guys are holding events, you're raising funds, you're selling tickets for things, you're raising money for different programs, whether it's a program at the post or a program of the national organization, whatever. Whatever money you're bringing in through the squadron accrue to the post. The post is financially, legally accountable to reflect those monies on their financial statements at the end of the year. If your accounts aren't tied to the post's ID number, guess what? Those monies don't show up for them. But they do belong to them. And now you can be putting the post in a financial pickle if something happens and those numbers gotta be dealt with. So please, make sure you don't try to run finances not going through the post. If you have that situation, I can help you get things worked out, what you need to do to get that straightened out. Please don't try to go around that way. We got a couple of squadrons I know of right now that are concerned because the post is asking them for money to support things at the post, and the squadron said, we don't want to do it, or they're asking for too much. And unfortunately, what I gotta tell them is, sorry guys, your money is their money. If they want to use it, they can use it. If you don't like it, they're gonna show you the door after they take the money. So, kind of keep that in the back of your minds. If you have that situation, let me know. I can help you work through that, but you don't want to be in that mode. The other members that are on the back side of the certification form are additional information. If you have separate members that are assigned to positions of second vice, finance officer, chaplain, parliamentarian, or judge advocate, the story is anybody other than those four main entries on the front side, if you got those guys that are named specifically, please, it helps if we have additional points of contact for the squadron to work with these. And if one of the things that we would like to do, and Todd alluded to, Mike alluded to, is trying to extend communications from the state through the district to the squadrons. The more guys that we have in specific positions at the squadron level, that helps, because now, like with fundraising, we know, besides talking to the commander or the adjutant, if you got it named second vice commander for the squadron, The main thing that person should be concerned with is fundraising activities for the squad. That gives us some information for what the state district officers are to say, here's the guys in the squadron who, at least in theory, ought to be concerned with that. At that level, that's a person to talk to try to make sure the information gets out there. Same thing, chaplain. So we've got contacts. When we have a member that's ill, we want to lose somebody, they transfer to squad or last or whatever. We want to make sure that we know who those members are when they pass. We want to make sure that we acknowledge them properly. Every year at state convention, if you guys don't go, on Sunday morning, we have a memorial service. And we present the names of all the members from the state of Ohio that passed away in the previous year. Unfortunately, that list is getting bigger. I think last year we had almost 400 members that we recognized. And as much as we don't like having to have those guys' names on that list each year, to me personally, the bigger error for the state on our part would be not mentioning the guys that we do, because somebody didn't put the note through to update that membership record that's on the state or national. We lost John Smith 3 months ago. So please, if you lose somebody, make sure you update the record, see if his name's out there, so we get that information recognized properly. That's all your officers, we ask for those to be populated every year. One of the things that we struggle with the most for paperwork each year is that list of names of your officers. Anymore to the point, I'm trying to tell guys, you know what? Last squadrons don't change officers from year to year. They have this commanders and first body second imagine. I would rather you come to me or go through your district officers and say, you know what? We're keeping the same 3 or 4 guys this year as last year. That's a phone call, that's a text message, that's a quick email. It's a lot easier for us at the state and district levels to say, keep the same guys in as last year, just update your record, say it's the same ones. Now we're not having to chase you 2, 3, 6 months down the road and say, you haven't told us who your guys are. Well, it's the same guys that host that meeting. Because if you don't know at the district level, these guys in these chairs are competing for some financial rewards throughout the year. The first one that we have every August is, do you have my credit profile? Last year was the first time in the 20 some odd years that I've been active at the state, we actually had a district earn that prize. Because they had all the paperwork filed on August 1st. And Bill Frederick has been around long enough for that to happen before that you know of.
It's happened a couple times, but it's been years and years.
As I said, in the 20 years I've been around, it hasn't until then. They're not hard things to do, guys. It helps out greatly, it helps your district guys out to know we got the information updated and we know who we're talking to. The next big piece of information is your consolidated squad report. This is the form that updates your report, what you did in terms of volunteer efforts, both in time and monies donated for all the various programs that we do at the squad or post level. It's broken down by the different pillars of support of the American Legion programs. So Americans, No Children, Youth, Veteran Affairs, and so forth. One of the issues that we always struggle with on this one, number one, we like you to fill it out for your district year period. So we ask for it to go from June 1st to May 31st. It's not an exact date schedule, but it's close enough to be consistent. And we generally follow that because it more or less follows the pattern of one of the other state conventions in mid-May. So it kind of goes in that cycle. One of the things we lose guys on a lot of these when they do file the form though, the top section of it, we ask for how many paid members do you have at the time that you filed the form for this year? How many paid members did you have at the end of last year? Because the number of the prizes that we award at the state convention are per capita amounts. Meaning, how much money did you donate per member for a given program? If we don't know how many paid members you had last year or you have currently, we can't figure out what per capita amount is because we don't know what the advisor is. So you may donate $10,000 to child well-being. If you got 50 members of the squad, but don't tell us that, we don't know how to divide that 10,000 by 50 to figure out what did you donate per member. And now somebody else is gonna get that award when Chris gets up on stage tonight because we didn't have that number for us. So watch those two numbers when you're filling out the form. We asked that hours be whole number hours, dollars be whole number dollars. And that's actually just because of the way the American Legion IT staff in Indianapolis has things set up. They can't track half hours or less than $1 amount, so round everything up. If you have something that you donate in time or money that doesn't fit one of the discrete line items on the form, each of the sections has an other. So other Americans, other children and youth, other veterans and affairs. If what you donate to doesn't specifically have a broken out line item for it, put it under other in that respective category. The ultimate catch-all bucket at the bottom is in the internal affairs section. Other hours not defined, other money's not defined. Worst case, you could put it under there, but the thing is, there are 0 awards that get granted on stuff in the internal affairs category. Because it's generally something that ought to be categorized in a specific program that's being tracked. But if it doesn't get named that way, then it goes in that catch-all bucket and it doesn't get any recognition. So please try to break stuff out where you can. Okay. The next document that's in the packet I gave you guys is, we call it Commander Program Report. Each year, the detachment commander, Tim, each year the commander chooses a series of areas that they would like to have be goals for all our squadrons to pursue as performance measures during the year. So the first thing that we track is your membership. And specifically, last year we've been a little more concerned with renewing your existing members from year to year as opposed to trying to necessarily just go out and bring in new guys. Generally speaking, across the board, Sons of the American Legion does a pretty good job about bringing new guys into the organization. What we're not good at in general is keeping guys from growing. And in particular, keeping relatively new guys in the organization. Somebody that you brought in with the last 2 or 3 years. We, as a group, collectively, I think are a little lazy in not making sure those new guys are all into the group and brought in as active members, such that we can keep being members of the group. So the statistics show us that from year to year, we lose a lot of new members, or young members, if you want, guys that have only been around for a couple of years. Guys like a lot of us that have been around for 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 years, the guys that are going to be around for a long time. Bringing the new guys in and engaging them so they want to stay active, that's what we're falling down on. And so the target we've had for the last couple of years now is to try to ensure that we renew 87% or more of our members from the previous year. So if you had 100 members in the squad, it means we want to try to make sure we get 87 of them to pay up each year. Ideally, we want to get them all. We have a few squadrons around the state that actually do hit 100% renewals. There aren't a lot, but there's a few. But more often than not, we're coming up short, and we get guys that are not hitting 87%, not hitting 80%. And what that means is, like I said, we're doing well bringing new people in, we're letting a lot of them walk out the back door and not keep them interested. And in terms of trying to grow the organization overall, that's big and a big hindrance. In 24, the national organization had 397, almost 398,000 members nationally. That was with about a 88% renewal rate. We let an awful lot of guys that didn't engage and stay back around again. We're bringing a lot of new members, we're growing overall in terms of members. but it's harder to get bigger when we bring 3 guys in, but we let 2 stay, slip away. So we gotta try to work the best we can to avoid that. So the big thing we start with the community program is try to focus on renewing existing guys. And then each of the various programs off of the consolidated report for Americans, Children, Youth, Veterans Affairs. Each commander chooses an item to focus on within each of those colors. So for Americans, for many years, we chose to focus on Buckeye Boys State or Buckeye Girls State. And squadron sponsor a young man or young woman to go to the program. Or this year, Commander's Team has a third choice to support the National Emergency Fund. If you're not able to afford the money as a squadron to sponsor a player girl to go to Boys State or Girls State, and for Boys State it's $300 a person, for Girls State it's $350. If you're a smaller squadron and that's too much of a financial challenge for you guys to go with those monies, the alternative would be make a donation to the National Emergency Fund of $1 per member. So if you got a squadron that's 40 members, donate $40 to NEF. That qualifies you for that category of American Life section. The alternatives in children and youth are donate to child well-being, Veterans Affairs Organization, American program is Operation Comfort Warriors. We also still have this year Task Force 20 as an option. Are aware a couple of years ago that was a project on the legal side of things to help raise monies to provide fitness memberships to veterans to help deal with mental stress, mental health. There have been a number of studies that have shown that veterans who engage in physical fitness activities through gym memberships and things like that are doing better in general in terms of mental health and stability. When they're taking care of their bodies, it's helping take care of their minds. It's helping us deal with that issue of we're losing too many men and women to suicide each year. That's a project that we're working on still there. And the last piece of the CPA is making sure you turn it into your consolidated report. It's great that we got guys that are doing things out there to support these projects. The biggest thing we're terrible at as an organization is telling the world that we're doing it and what we're doing. So we're filing that report that lets us know, yes, we put this much time into these things, we put this much money in terms of support to these things. So that's the last piece of that. You can either make those donations directly to the Emergency Department of Ohio, the normal line that says it's for SAL squadron, whatever the project is. All of those monies need to be donated by May 1st. You do want to have those as receipt dates by department, not that that's when you mailed it, because I do run those reports to see what's out there. And then the last thing that I got in the packet, as mentioned this year, state conventions at Chillicothe. That's the weekend of May 16th, 17th, 18th, down in the 7th District, right on the river. Been there a couple of times recently, they've been taking good care of us. And any member of the organization that wants to attend, as either a delegate for the squadron or a guest, welcome to do so. Registration costs $5 a member to get bashed and be eligible to sit on the floor and participate. And the form that I got in here actually has the reservation information for the hotel staff. So they are taking reservations now at this point. I know it's an awful lot of stuff. Any questions? Big thing is try to get stuff in by May 1st. If May 1st in the next money, that helps. Sooner the better. And again, it doesn't just help us at the state, it also helps Bob and Fred here at the district keep track of what's going on with all you guys to help streamline the communication both up and down. Thank you, sir.
Thanks,
I have something else?
Yes, sir.
Okay. These guys have heard this quite a few times, but I want to let you guys know. I'm a big proponent of the Be the One program. July 4th weekend, I was in Mid-Ohio working the Be the One booth. It was Saturday morning, about 10:30, 11 o'clock. Day, he comes up, I shake his hand, I said, "Are you a veteran?" He said, "Yes, I am." I said, "Thank you for your service." He says, "What's to be the one?" I said, "Well, we were trying to do away completely with veteran suicide." And he looked at me and he said, "I was there." And the hair on my neck stood up, and I said, "Thank God I'm talking today, because you didn't do it." The Be the One program is very important. 22 veterans a day we lose. Like Todd said earlier, 22's way too many. 22 too many, as a matter of fact. These men and women are very important, just like each one of us in this room are. You guys are very important to your families, to your friends. So are they. Let them know. They have a little pamphlet out that you can ask questions, talk to them. If anything, just talk to them. If you see someone that's looking down, talk to them, because you don't know where their mental state is. And if you can help one person, that saves a life. I've been pushing this since July because that day just changed my life, because I was looking at a young man that's 25, 30 years younger than myself, and he almost took his life. And I said, we can't have that. We can't have that. These guys, if their life's going to be taken, it's going to be protecting us, not running from us. Remember, if you know someone out there, talk to them. Talk to them in the canteen. Talk to them out on the street. Call them. If you're someone you haven't seen for a little while, call them, make sure they're okay. Just be the one. You can get these through headquarters. It's very good thing for everybody, but that's all I have to say, and thank you for your time.
Thank you. I think that's all of our speakers. Are you okay, John?
Just switching from one mic to the other.
Okay.
Just a couple things. Child Wellbeing Foundation Chairman for the state. You've heard the word well-being now. What's happened is, in the October meeting, they decided to change the name from welfare to well-being. The reason is the connotation we understand in this country is means you're poor. And that's not what this was for. It's for the well-being of the children. And also, people thought they were just giving money to families and people in need. And that's not what the organization is about. It's about giving to organizations who are in need, who can do great things across the country. So that's the reason it's changed. My title hasn't changed. The word has changed. I just passed some information on to the table to officers. One of the things I did last year to help out and raise some more money for child welfare was to work on a yearbook for the convention. So last year we had 7 of the districts involved with quite a few squadrons. We had auxiliary units. We had Legion districts help us out by supporting the yearbook. And you can do that. I have information on it. Like I said, I just passed it on for them to review, maybe at this meeting or the next meeting. But anybody can help out. You could do one individually. Todd owned a business. He did a small ad. Perfect. But if that's something you'd be interested in, I'll be around after the meeting. Be glad to talk to you about it.
Thank you, sir. And is there any other speakers that would like to say anything? Okay. Kathy, would like to say something again?
I forgot something.
Okay, ma'am.
The Auxiliary Summit County Council, every December, we just have a Christmas dinner. We go out to a restaurant. We decided years ago we do not have a gift exchange. We take up a collection of the people that are there and we donate it to the SAL for their special project. And I don't believe the check has been sent to you yet. but we collected $65 this year, and I will make sure that our county treasurer sends you a check for $65 for your special
Send
project.
it to Mr. Madison.
Huh?
Send it to Mr. Madison, he's our finance officer.
Okay, made out to the 14th district, but earmarked for the SAL special project. We'll do that. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. The special project is still for veteran suicide. So we can go back to the regular order of business. We still need to do a roll call.
Commander Carson,
Here.
first vice Hartline. Here. Second vice George.
Here.
I still don't know how to pronounce your last name. Adjutant, not here. Finance officer excused. Sergeant at Arms, Jacob.
Aye.
Advisor, Sean Light.
Missing.
And those 3 years. Roll call squadrons, when I call your squadrons, let me know how many people you have here. 19.
2.
209 is not here, 272 is not here. 331 is excused, Dan, our resident man from Ravenna Squadron had major stomach surgery 2 weeks ago, and had to go back in, and they're gonna check it out, because something wasn't healing right, so he's back in.
He has been checking in every so often on the live stream on Facebook. So he couldn't be here, but he's been checking in on us.
496,
2,
449,
1.
566. 5. 685 is excused. 674, we don't hear from. Mr. Commander, you don't have a quorum.
Okay. Back to round table.
We not at 6. Sorry.
Yeah, we got 6.
Yeah, 6 minutes.
Very well.
Yeah.
Okay. I do have a finance report. Steve, our finance officer, left us, our beginning checking account was $426.30. We had one check that was processed for $29.25, left us with $4.55 and 55 cents. That closed us out at January 26th, 2025. Let's see. Membership.
Oh, Jeff.
Jeff did this already. Okay, that's fine. Hey, pass that on. Okay, so that's membership. Jeff has. You want to say something about this?
Want to present Scott?
Would you like to do that?
If I could have Scott, if I could have you and Joe come up here, please. Tim, I didn't make it to your homecoming, but we have these for you at your homecoming. There are a couple of coasters that we make up. Beautiful. The gentleman doing the camera working and stuff back there, he's the one that makes them. Those are beautiful. We have a box over here behind it. It's got the Air Force, Army, Navy, all them emblems in there. Scott, we have a set for you too.
He also does a lot that's not
We were selling these last year at the Medina Ice Festival, $10 a piece or 4 for 30. And we made a couple $100 off of what we sold out there last year. And we had it again at the Norton Cider Fest, and we didn't do too good at the Cider Fest, but we handed out over 2,500 American flags at the Cider Fest this year. They kept us busy, and we promoted a lot of the Be the One program this year.
We did help several veterans. We got them registered up at VA with federal building veterans benefits where they started their get the claim filed.
Right.
So it was 8 guys. It was nice. Got their claims started.
Also picked up quite a few members for all 3 organizations while we were out there.
One thing we cited, we took a gentleman, he said he had heard of us, but never got involved in the Legion, because his dad was dead set against it. So we started talking to him, I handed him an application, I had some envelopes up with all the envelopes, all the organization's information in it. I handed it to him, he says, here's the problem. He says, I live in Wadsworth, he said, I'm about a block from the Wadsworth American Legion post. I wrote my name down on there, and I says, take this out to the commander, show it to him, tell him I sent you out here and talk to him. About 2 weeks later, the post commander from Wadsworth called me, and he says, I not only signed him up, I signed his wife up in the auxiliary, his 3 daughters up in the junior auxiliary, and his 4 sons up in the SAL. He said, thank you for sending. And I said, if you get anybody out there that lives in Portage Lakes, I said, send them on.
So we weren't just recruiting for us, we were recruiting for some employees.
Everybody, American Legion family.
Yep.
Well, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for coming. Thank you.
Thank you, Scott. This one I've been wanting to do for years. Mr. Towns.
Scott, will you grab Phil's, or grab the camera for us, please? Sure. Phil doesn't get a camera, need a picture very often.
We also have a set for you. Everything you did for us up here in the 14th district, we're all in you.
Thank you. Thanks for all you guys do, keeping it going up here. It means a lot.
We're trying.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Like I said, we have a box back over here, if anybody wants to look through and see. We have the Air Force, Navy, Army, Marines, Coast Guard. And it was funny, when we were in Medina last year, we couldn't keep the Marine Corps coaster in stock. We had 20 of them to start the weekend out, and we sold them all on the first day on Friday.
Yeah, I ran more of one each night, I think, and still couldn't.
Hey, nobody wants the Coast Guard.
Now, we have Coast Guard,
And nobody wants it.
We had 5 or 6, because I've got to remake Coast Guard. Air Force, I think, is our least.
Years ago, when Sharon Miller was going in as department president, Bill got the honor of training her color guard. We trained out here in the parking lot. There was 5 of us. Myself and Michelle Sandridge, Bridget Castercombe, Karen Peel, and Amanda Peel. And we trained us hard in this parking lot. So we thank you, Bill.
It's fun doing.
Okay. Let's see, finance, membership. Anything for activities?
Last week, meeting, we tried to do a chili cook-off, unfortunately didn't go well. Our winner and only entrant was our commander. But I'm trying to come up with ideas to get people more involved. It's very hard to get people to the meeting. I'm trying to come up with a different approach now. Talking to some friends, they mentioned, what about just doing, to start, maybe we put together a monthly podcast and have, we can do it through, we have a Discord. If you didn't know that, you know what Discord is. It's like combining Zoom with a messaging.
No? Anybody from Legion Riders around? Yes, sir.
496, do our breakfast every other Sunday. You doing that till Mother's Day?
What Sunday are they, odd?
Second Sunday of the month.
Second?
Second Sunday of the month, from 9 to 11, we do breakfast. Seeing as nobody's here from Ravenna, Ravenna does theirs the first Sunday of the month.
Yeah, me and Dad's been invited out there many times, but neither one of us ever get out of bed early enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
Make sure, send information to the Facebook, and I will get it posted on there too.
Check with Jack on Ryder's information also.
We ain't got nothing going right now.
Nothing?
What are the Sunday morning breakfasts, or 566?
They had it this morning. Like I said, that's not the Riders, it's Legion. They had it this morning, they do it every other Sunday.
Okay.
They had it this morning.
Yeah, I gotta ask why he dad won't be around.
Yeah, that's under the good. Okay. Child Wellbeing Foundation.
Oh, the gentleman right there basically handled that for us.
Anything going on with it? No?
Well, the one thing is for what I'm doing locally or what I'm doing for child welfare is I am selling squares, for the Super Bowl. 40% of the money, which would be $400, coming back to child welfare, and then the other 60% goes back to the winners. Thought that was a good way to get different people involved, and I've got people signed up from all over the state. So if you're interested, you can get with me afterwards. And my big thing is, I'll tell you this, when it comes to fundraising, a lot of people think I gotta raise a lot of money, I gotta ask for a lot of money. Don't do that. Jeff, would you give me $50 today? I doubt it, but if I ask Jeff for $1 every week to support something, I bet he does it. So think of it in that terms. I've been in fundraising my entire life, and if you think about that, you're gonna raise a lot more money than asking for, a $50 item today. So just something to think about that I like to share. Thank you.
They're looking for volunteers to come down to oratorical contest. Is anybody going to be able to come down and help? I'll be down there.
I'll be there.
Jake will be there.
You should be there.
You have no choice.
You don't have a choice?
Yeah, it's Carolyn for the 14th district. I better be there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, if you want to judge, you're gonna have to talk to me about that because I'm gonna have to put a name in.
Yes, Scott.
Peter, if I may, Bill alluded earlier to the 100th anniversary for the SAL being coming up in a few years. For those who aren't aware, it's 1932. So please do what you can to help with that. But talk about volunteers. For those of you who are not aware, the American Legion National Convention is going to be in Columbus in 2028. The members of the Ohio Legion family are putting out a call for all hands on deck to help, because we're going to need bodies to help staff it in Columbus that week.
They didn't make it final?
It's a done deal. It's
Yep.
Cool.
Me being already on that committee.
I think we are too.
Yeah.
Steve's in charge of it, one of them. Yeah, he got us.
Obviously, folks that know the city of Columbus will be very much in demand for that week to help out, but just in general, anything that you're able to offer, a few hours here and there, whatever, helping out the convention center, helping out with any of the posts in the area that are gonna be hosting events, that are gonna need people just to help, just with the sheer volume of people that are gonna be in town that week. Typically, attendance for an American Legion convention, 10,000 people come in the city for that week, week and a half, between the Sons, the Auxiliary, and the Legion, the Riders.
Yeah, we got voluntold.
Yeah. I was at. Magic had fun.
One thing just to keep in mind, those of us that are going to be assisting as volunteers to staff the event, one of the things that is a trade-off is you don't get to enjoy a lot of the event as the hosting state. Just so you're aware. But anybody that is able to help will be very much appreciated.
Buckeye Boys Day. How many squadrons are sponsoring a boy? Bill says, we are, sure. We have Cindy Robinson's grandson. Very good. His name is Damian Roberts. He's from Towpath High School up on Canton Road.
A reminder for our orientation for Buckeye Boys Day for the 14th District is May 4th.
Right.
Over at Kent Post, 496.
Okay. If you can get a boy from one of your local high schools, it would really help. Okay? Do any of you folks have any contact with your local high schools? Do you know anybody at high schools, any secretaries, counselors, any teachers? Would you be willing to go over and visit the high school? Sure. Please visit, talk to the counselor. Okay?
I've got some pamphlets out in my car.
Okay.
I'll bring in a couple pamphlets for you, take them to the county. What I would do is get a hold of the counselor at the high schools, go and explain. If you need somebody to go with you that knows more about Boyd State, they can get you.
We have several staff members now in 14th District that are on Buckeye Boys Day.
We've got 5 staff members in our district that are staff members for Boyd State. Okay, we can get one of those guys to go with you.
On that note, if any of you guys are interested in coming down to Boyd State to see what it's like, all you have to do is get a hold of Christy White down at headquarters. Let her know that you're interested in coming down and see what the program's about. She will get you the information, she will get you vetted to where you'll be able to spend a day or two down there. It is one great program, is it not, gentlemen?
It's pretty fire, yeah. I like it a lot. This is my 3rd year going, and I'm probably gonna be going for the rest of my life.
Scott's on staff there, I'm on staff there. Scott, he doesn't have as much time as the rest of us because he's busy, but I spend the whole week down there, and it is not a week wasted. Those young men are worth it at Boyd State, and I'm sure it's the same for Girls State. I did get to go up and visit them for an hour last year, when I got to speak, but they were very enthused while I was up there. But if you get a chance, get a hold of Christy, go down and visit. It's at Miami University, May 8th. The Sunday, May 8th is when it starts and goes through the following Sunday, June 8th. Excuse me.
It ends on Father's Day.
Yep, always ends on Father's Day.
Just so, is there any, we can't do any hard business today, but is there any unfinished business we can know about?
Nope.
Okay, we don't have any new business we can accomplish. How about, good of the week, good of the Sons? At our post here at 566, every Friday during Lent, we will be having a fish fry. We're planning on having hot rice, coleslaw, and cod. So you're more than welcome to come on down here every Friday evening. We're going to start about 5 o'clock and go until we run out of fish. I figure we're going to have 2 boxes of fish, so that's 40 pounds of fish. So you're all welcome to come on down every Friday during Lent, so that's 7 weeks.
Usually every second and fourth Friday, there's karaoke.
Yeah. I can't tell you what it's going to cost because we're not planning on making any profit. It's just going to be at cost for whatever the material is, okay?
We figured $10.
Okay. Fred's figured $10.
I'm from the 5th District. The 5th District is having a fundraiser for charities. We're giving away 3 gift cards for Fin, Feather, and Fur. First prize is $400, second prize is $300, third place is $200. Tickets are $5 a piece if anybody's interested. We're drawing at our annual convention, April 12th. So if you guys are interested, gift cards. Gun raffle, not gun raffle because it's a gift card. So if you're interested, see me after the meeting.
Yeah.
Mr. Commander, with your permission, I would like to touch base on the Commander's Award.
Yes, sir.
A little thing on that. Is there anybody in here, I'm gonna back up 25 years here. Does anybody in here pay less than $14 for your dues? Keep that number in mind, $14. Commander's Award is something that I think is overlooked every year. $4 a year is all it costs you. You hit your consolidated reports, you hit your membership, and $4 a year. The thing I heard back when I was commander, I'm a small squadron, we can't afford that. We can't do the Commander's Award. We don't do anything. Our squadron don't do anything. We just come down, there's just a bunch of beer drinkers. We all heard it. Think about it in this terms. Before you ever wash a dish, before you sell a raffle ticket, before you get up there and hit that steak fry, you can hit the Commander's Award. You take $4 out of your per capita, put $1 to the Boy State, $1 to Americanism, $1 to BANR, $1 to Children and Youth. Right out of your per capita, you've already hit the Commander's Award. Before you wash a dish, before you sell a ticket, instead of 8 or 10 Commander's Awards, we ought to have 200. You and out. Fill the paperwork out, you're already doing the work. Everybody says we don't do anything. It's things you're already doing. Better, thank you.
It is things we're doing all the time. Okay. Does anybody have any announcements to make? Do we have anything that we need to make?
Still looking for a place for our annual convention. I've sent information out to 3 or 4 different squadrons and posts, and nobody's gotten back to me. Of course, I haven't heard anything from 331 because Dan being laid up like he has been, he hasn't been able to get back to me. As soon as I get information where our next meeting is at, I'll let you know, and I'll get the information down to Scott, so he'll know where it's at. Problem we have here, I try every year to schedule all our meetings for all year long, and I can't get some hosts to want to work with us. They'll say, oh, well, we'll get back to you, and then I never hear back from them. So it seems like we always are. 331-496, either Cuyahoga Falls, Stowe, and it seems the winter meeting's always here. Been that way for the last 7 or 8 years.
Well, if you don't mind stairs, I'll volunteer at 449. That's my issue with ours, you have to go upstairs.
That's why we don't go to 449.
Take your stairs.
You got too many people that can't do the stairs. Dad on the end's one of them anymore.
I can't either.
He had to take the stairs in our building the other day because the elevator was down more than the basement where our van parks. And he was down for 2 days because his legs hurt because of having to take the steps because I was still there. He had to run out at 9 a.m. and I was still sound asleep and he didn't want to wake me up.
Okay. Can we do the drawing, please?
Oh, yeah. Okay, so $75, so 37 will go to the district and 38 will go to our lucky winner.
I would say have Jack draw it.
Well, he didn't put money in it.
Last four. 7-2, 7-5.
Not me.
I mean,
Oh, yeah, I forgot to go.
I got it.
say right there's only.
Yeah. And I will donate it back to the district.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir. Once this meeting is over with, we will have sandwiches and chips and stuff over here. For drinks, if you get your drinks from out of the canteen. All of the tickets and all that stuff will be for sale up here. See whoever had their tickets for sale. Okay?
One quick thing, for those that this hasn't been around us, we had a problem with our district bank account. After Dave Cobb passed away, we filled out all the proper paperwork saying David passed, Pebbles provided copies of his death certificate to the bank. They come around and we went to change everything over. Next thing we know, they were closing our bank account. And the reason was, when we tried to cash a check, you need Dave Cobb's signature on here. Dave has passed away. But we don't care. On these forms, we still need his signature.
Dig him up.
So we had over $800 in the bank that we're still fighting with the bank to try to get our money.
One of, kind of going along with what I mentioned before about squatted accounts, that's that same sort of thing. Make sure whatever level you're at, have the Legion's finance officer at your level be a signatory on your account.
The sad part though about that for the district account, Dad's also on it. But they don't recognize Dad because David was the lead guy.
Right, I was too.
Bill and I were the original signers on the account back in the 90s.
It's absolutely a pain. It is absolutely a pain.
It was just the bank. They said Dave is in charge of that account.
Yeah, it's great that he's in charge of it, but once they're passed, and you've got a certificate from the county saying, he's no longer alive, then any of the other signatories on the account should have the authority to act on the account.
But their national, when the bank closed the account, they forwarded the money to the national chain out in, out in Iowa. No, yeah, Iowa.
Out in
Okay, so that's Ohio.
Yeah, just.
Okay, keep an eye on the meeting. And we have a sick call. Anybody here of members that are sick or ill or passed? No. No? Okay. Chaplain, can we have a benediction, please?
Almighty God, the hour has come when we must part. We commit ourselves to thy care. Thou who art our strong tower of defense and our protection, grant in life's battles that we may be strong and brave, living in such stainless integrity, and shall reflect honor upon our country and glorify thy great and holy name. May good providence shield us from all harm and bring us together again in true comradeship and peace. Amen.
Covered? Luke? 2. I now declare the meeting